So in physics, there is this second law of thermodynamics where the entropy of a system, or the amount of randomness, will either stay the same or increase if it's left to its own. There is no way that in a system that is left to its own, the entropy would decrease. The randomness is definitely going to increase, or at least stay the same if there is no external agent trying to disrupt it. Now, I put in a lot of effort to assemble all the things together for like a small dance shoot. There's a costume, there's all this jewelry, there's a makeup, and I have to set up the camera, the lights. There's so much of work that goes into a little shoot. And after the shoot is over, I have to go and replace each and every item. That is also a substantial amount of work in itself. It takes a lot of my brain space and energy to like keep things in the right place so the next time I'll be able to spot it. When I go and actively replace things, I'm bringing order into the system. I'll be able to find those things. Entropy would not have increased. But if I left it to its own and I did not replace it in the right positions, somebody else could have picked one item, put it elsewhere. The maid who comes for cleaning might decide, hey, this is like lying in the wrong place. She would keep it in the wrong box. So entropy would increase. In order to bring orderliness into any system, there has to be an intelligent designer behind it. Somebody who has some creative ability, who can think for himself or herself. So there is an intelligent design behind our universe, behind us. How can there be order in this universe? How can there be law and order in this country? Because there are people who are engaged in enforcing things into place. The laws and rules are enforced by the law agencies. So things if left to its own, there's no way they are going to, improve and be self-generative and become something better. I always was fascinated, or was quite convinced. I thought it was a good reasoning to reason out, evolution versus creation. That by itself, like you had like some little bacterium or some little cell, nowhere, all the improbable things happen for life to form, like the right temperature. Just think about the conditions that are needed for an embryo to become a baby and be born. So even if you have, artificial babies, the amount of investment that is required, human capital that is required to have created like those perfect systems, a perfect environment. There is a temperature that has to be just right. The number of days for which a particular temperature is given, and at the end of which, it has to be monitored. So there's always some people, human beings behind this process. Then we have this concept of evolution, where the argument is that from nowhere, everything, the probability of all that coming together is mind-boggling. I remember there was a time when I gave a presentation on a case for creation, why people should believe in a God, using like these kind of logical or scientific arguments for creation against evolution. And I remember the probability was 1 in some 10 raised to how many zeros, God knows. Close to improbable for all the conditions to come together and for life to form. That points to an intelligent designer. There's a creator who put things together, made the earth, gave the right temperature. And the Bible says that when the earth was created, there was no rain. There would be like a dew that would be there in the morning, and it would wet the plants. That's how the plants got their moisture or water from. So it didn't rain until Noah's flood came. It's fascinating just thinking about creation. Think about how did the first life forms originate. And if you understand this concept of entropy, just looking around, looking at chaos, without somebody behind things don't progress. You have a project in your workplace, your boss will be after your life until you do it successfully, right? I mean, why is there a project manager? Couldn't like all the bits and pieces come together on its own and just create this final product? And no, we have those jobs, those careers only because this earth is so chaotic. There has to be people, intelligence that puts things together and brings meaning out of this chaos. The Bible says, the beginning, the earth was without form, it was void without form, it was this darkness all around. And then we see the power of God coming and setting up the land, and then there was the plants and the animals and whatever was needed for man. We see light, we have the sun and the moon. Then finally, God saw that, the place is set, things are set. So he then created man. and woman. So it's fascinating to think about how much intelligent design went behind creating mankind.